Ben and I, we learned long ago that we work very well together, but we have different approaches to the instrument, both physically and musically. We have different backgrounds, different training. But since we enjoy each other's playing, we work well together and we kind of complement each other.
When I started in the orchestra, I was fourth and Tom was assistant. So we played really classical repertoire all the time. So it got to the point where we play stuff together now, and he's principal and I'm second, where we just don't have to think about it. And trying to get the students to do that in a short period of time is the challenge. But and also Tom talks too much, so I have to stop him every now and then. Oh wait, is it you that talks too much?
I think it's you that talks too much. I'm pretty sure.
Actually, I do talk a lot. But actually, what's impressive to me in this class is that we'll be coaching something, and I'll get to a point where I'm pretty comfortable with it, and Tom will still push for more something, and then it'll be just that much better, and that's kind of what's cool, like you said, about the different approaches.
There was also a moment in this class where Ben wanted something to happen that I didn't think had to happen, but the student he was working with heard it, made the adjustment, and it was better. So we kind of catch each other's mistakes, not mistakes, but we catch different things. We listen for different things. So it has to be quite a bit softer, like a lot softer. I actually play those articulations. I mean, I want to slur it, but I articulate so legato that you can hardly even hear. I don't know. The part says legato, so I articulate.
Yeah,
and then
it adds just a little bit of weight to each note.
Yeah, and then the next at the 3/4 after that, it's a different articulation again. Okay. Okay, so make it it's either an end and or, softer with a more sotto voce kind of color in your sound. And right there, Katie, we need a little, since you need a little more right there, Katie, okay?
So, David, both times you took an audible breath, you're perfectly together. Everybody's perfectly together with you. And I noticed that when we play this, Tom doesn't usually move or make any noise, but when we play this, he does. There's like a sort of a sighing, It's very clear where to come in. So that'll help. And then the other thing, Joe, is when you have your little solo, make sure when you end on the F that it's a little lower. And when you're just chordal, no vibrato, every now and then I hear you emoting a little bit. Don't do that until you can do it a little tiny bit, and you can get away with it on your little sort of solo.
When the moving notes. Yeah, let's do it again. And are you legato tonguing now, guys? In that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
so
then,
really get it together.
David, your beat is like da da. Your prep beat should be in the tempo and in the feel of the following music, okay? So it's a different breath for this than it would be for some fast moving passage. And your prep is fast, and then you come in and there's this beautiful dolce sound. It doesn't make sense. And now, Katie, even though it's the 1, 2, 3, 4, the fourth and fifth measure, you're on one note, right? Fourth and fifth measure of that phrase. Oh, yeah. One note. So even though you're on one note, first of all, you two guys have to realize she's on one note, and so kind of be aware of that you should be coming to her. But Katie, you don't necessarily assume that you just stick it, because as the chords change, you might have to change that low note ever so slightly. And I noticed each time it took you guys until, like the third or fourth beat of the end of that phrase to get it in tune. So it took too long for you guys to get that in tune.
Sure, let me jump in here. Assume I'm going to be a little bit sharp. And that's one of those spots, as a second trumpet player, you have to disappear. Like right as soon as you hit that D flat together, you go away. Doesn't mean don't play. It means you have to just disappear into the sound, which luckily was easy to do. And then the other thing is that the solo, yeah, it's a solo, but it should be subtle. It should be subtle, I think you're just trying to, maybe you're just overthinking now. Just play the line.
David, just try something. The third measure, da 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 da. Just bring that third measure and sing it just a little bit more, so everything doesn't sound exactly the same. No one else changes anything, and then after you do that, then come back, because I think there's moving notes in the fifth measure. And then back off there. Right. That's beautiful. So then you get out of the way for Joe's moving notes. Just those two notes. I just want you to sing them just a little bit more. So enough so that we notice. Which actually that time was perfect, except the following measure. Get out of the way. And you gotta concentrate on the start so Joe has a chance to catch you.
Yeah, okay. So this can be really touchy with any soft stuff. And I realized in the middle of the first phrase that I basically didn't breathe because I wanted to make sure I was absolutely together with David when he came in. So it's kind of it's a crapshoot. So you take in a little bit of air, but you make sure you're set.
And you should not be moving at all. You should be ready. You should not, and your embouchure shouldn't be moving as you're attacking the note. So Ben's right. You should be set, ready to play. David moves, you don't move, and you just are able to like, just drop the needle. You know what an LP is, right, guys? You guys aware of the needle?
It's a black circle.
Black little disc. The music comes out of it. You know what speakers are? Big speakers.
Maybe you've seen the RCA dog.
Yeah, you watched old movies. Nice. Good. That was gorgeous. One more thing, and Katie, you're moving notes. Just put more energy into it. Okay, that's all I want you to do. Put more energy into it. Make it sound special. We go right to the high Cs.
Yeah, we should probably move on.
Yeah, to this.
Yeah.
Let's go to the fifth movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Pick up to 7 before 11 in the fifth movement.
Your main job is to be really solid on this last thing,
Okay.
and then not get in the way. And then your only job is to sound, amazing on all of it, but especially in the last measure.
And when I'm playing first, since there's so much unison, David, I'm laying for, just keep in mind, be mindful that you will be the last person playing the high C. So it's okay to coast a little bit and let the other guys lead you, and then maybe I actually remind them, to take over.
Third plays that. Okay.
So who plays the high Cs before is it the
First
same?
and third.
First and third.
First and
So we're
third.
going to play the ink?
Yeah, but it's so confusing with their ink because there's a lot of pencil and there's a lot of extraneous markings. So play the C there and the C there.
Okay. Sound.
Yeah, that lower one.
Nice.
Yeah, and Joe, that's the smart thing to do. If you squeeze it off, squeeze it off.
Yeah.
Just be done with it. Just keep your horn up. That's it. It happens every now and then.
Yeah. I noticed that the articulation, you guys, for the most part, you played it right, but every once in a while you get into a little too tonguey. With this, what's this marking called even? The, the caret.
Marcato.
Marcato. It's more of it's a weighty articulation, not a tonguey articulation. And like an example of that is when the lower trumpets go da da dee da da, you're playing it more too staccato. And Ryan, I would join in some of those tooties. If I'm playing first, I'm encouraging the fifth player. So the more you play, the less I have to wear myself out. So that stuff after 11, I would just jump in. Then there's that.
Yeah, and depending on the section, I've played this in 4 or 5 different orchestras, and until we played it the last time, there was never any discussion about how to make it not only sound the best, but what was the smartest way to do it. So there's places where like Tom Siders and Mike Martin were just like really laying into it, and Rolfs and I were hanging back. And if you have a section, when you guys go out and work either in a full-time gig or on a freelance thing, you're going to have like really spotty things. So you have to, if you have a second player who's got really good, middle range, you can say, okay, really play out here, and you can chill out. And David, I noticed that there was one spot where you just stopped playing for a second, and that's a smart thing to do.
And that's the really wonderful thing about our section right now is we can ask Tom and Mike just to carry the load, and it's going to be really good. So and I definitely lay out in some of those spots that you laid out, David.
Can we do one unison spot after 11, just to pick up to the 3rd bar of 11, and can you? Yeah, it's fortissimo with a crescendo, and it should be exciting and uplifting, but it also should be in tune. So play into the person's sound to your right.
Is that right after your triplets? Where are your triplets, guys?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I want to hear that. Don't you preface that by da da? Yeah, yeah. So the note is like da da da. You know what it is? It's like every note. There's no taper on any note. It's da da dee da da dee da. It's well, not that one, but those triplets. It's not da 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 da. Da da dee da da dee da dee. Okay.
Can I just try something, Joe? Let me sit next to David, and you sit where you're sitting, and I'll just play it like how I would play it. Like you can kind of tell where I kind of goose it and where I come back, and so just for this one, just sit, and then I'll jump out and.
Second measure below? You guys have like four into the third.
This next one, don't play anything hardly.
You can bring that out, Ryan.
Beautiful. So like, for instance, before 13, third and fourth trumpet, 1, 2, 3, 4, that should be big. You should lead there. And third and fourth kind of take one for the team here, because when you play all this loud low stuff and then try to play the high C, it's kind of a pain. All you want to do with the high C is just play it in tune. There's other places in the piece where you can lay waste and have fun.
Yeah, there should never be a moment, I'm talking to you specifically, Joe, where you should feel like you're playing those high Cs and pushing, or it should just be nice and, like, sing it out, nice and round and beautiful. And I felt like you were starting to push, and you were setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah, and this G, notice I was really solid there, so that he can just do whatever he wants to do.
Yeah.
And then you don't really even, I guess I took a breath, but you don't need it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's all about kind of just being a little bit smarter about it.
I don't think we need to do this again,
We'll do some of it for Joe.
just for Joe.
Joe.
Okay, Joe,
Always
just
Joe.
for you. Let's do it. Let's take it after. Let's take it like at 11. After 11 there. And Ryan, like after 12, that's where you can jump in with the rest of them. The low C and G. It's not, I know it's not. I'm just saying that's how, so then David can chill. There's one more thing I want to, I'm still, the articulation is close, but it's still not where I want it. I feel like I want on the triplets, and then right after, you guys right after the triplets. Where's that, 11? It's like all through here with the quarter notes, the eighth notes, I want them to be given more import and more weight.
Okay.
So it, da, 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 okay? And then over here with the triplets, where is that?
1 after 11.
So everything is given more import, because it sounds like you're just kind of, sounds full, and then what you're playing over here, just stay seated, is but I want, okay? Does that make sense? Was that clear, Ben? Was there a difference in?
Yes. And yes.
Right.
Yeah, but wait, yeah, but keep the length. Don't let it get choppy.
Good, yeah, like that. That's so much better, and you don't have to play as loud to get it to really make an impact in the back of the hall. Okay, let's go on to something else. Let's go on to I think Till.
Sure.
Something articulated, and then we'll end with Petrushka.